Hi guys, my name is Christine and today I'm talking about practice these every day to reach your goals. So there's a quote that I really love by Rohn about success, and he says success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And he also has an alternative to this as well, like what is failure? And from Rohn's point of view, failure was a few errors in judgment repeated every day. So I feel like when you hear those words, when I heard those words for the first time, at least, there a couple of things came to my mind about what I could be doing more. And also when it comes to, the few errors in judgment repeated every day, there was a few things that came into my mind then. Was like, oh yeah, if I really stopped doing those, that would really help with certain goals that I have. As well as, a few simple disciplines practiced every day. A few things came to my mind then. I would think, yeah, there's a few things that I definitely need to do, a few disciplines that I need to do in order to reach the goals that I have, right? So the important thing is to get clear on what those things are, right? What are the things that you know that you need to stop doing, and what are those things that you need to, repeat every single day and do those things every day. And to get yourself disciplined to do those things every day. Now, when I say every day, obviously it doesn't have to be every single day. Like, for example, you could, have the weekends off and just do something Monday to Friday, whatever works for you, okay? But I really like those examples of what success and failure is, okay? So basically, it's a good idea then to create a list of things that you know that you should be doing every day, or at least every Monday to Friday, to achieve those goals that you have for yourself. Now, of course, obviously, it's important to know what your goal is. What are your goals? Because some people, they don't have an aim, they don't have a goal. And if you don't have an aim and if you don't have a goal, then anywhere can lead you to wherever you're going, right? But so it's important that you have an aim, right? And most of the time, you're going to be, of course, you're not always going to be able to hit those goals. You're not always going to be able to stay on the right trajectory every single day. Sometimes you will have a bad day where you will fall off the wagon and you will need to pick yourself up again the next day. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, basically. Right? So there's an interesting thing about pilots and how they get to their destination with their planes. Like, most of the time, they're off course, right? But what they keep on doing is they keep on making little adjustments, little tweaks while they're flying in order to get them to where they need to go. So something that and you kind of use that to your own success as well. Like, most of the time you might not be doing exactly the right thing, but the point is you just keep on changing your approach a little bit until you get to your goal. So the idea is that you don't change your goal, right? You just change your approach over time, right? Especially if it's something that you really, really want. Because I know sometimes you can have a goal and then realize that you don't actually want that goal. Perhaps you want something different, right? But if it's something that you've been thinking about for a long time, more than likely it's something that you definitely do want. Okay, it's a goal that you definitely do want. Let's say, for example, you want to look a certain way with your body, right? Maybe you've got some exercise goals and weight loss goals or whatever it is, or weight gain goals, as the case may be. So obviously that's something that you probably do genuinely want, and that's a goal that you shouldn't change, but you may need to change your approach here and there, perhaps to try a different form of exercise, or maybe you tweak your diet a little bit, add more protein or less something or another. You got to figure out what works for you and what works for your body, but that's sort of the idea, you see, and you can apply that to like everything, like all of your goals that you want. Right, so perhaps let's say you have a business, right, and you have a certain business goal. Now, you might not want to change the goal. Like, let's say you want a certain amount of clients in a month. You don't want to change the goal, but perhaps you might need to change your marketing strategy, or the way that you're putting out content, or if you're creating content for your business, you might need to change your approach on if you have to do cold calls or something like that. But the idea is that you never lose sight of the goal. You just change your approach, you change your actions here and there to get to that result faster, or to create a better result. Because you might be taking action on certain things, but they might not be the right actions. So therefore you might not be getting the results that you're hoping for. So you might have to change what you're doing a little bit, but you never change the goal. So you got to figure out what those things are. You got to figure out what your goal is, and you then need to figure out what disciplines do I need to start practicing every day in order to reach that goal. What are the actions that I need to take? So you got the goal, right? And then you make a plan, and then you take action on it. Okay, so and the reason why you want to do this is because the cold and scary truth is that nothing will change until you change, right? You're not going to reach your goals if you continue doing what you've always done. Sometimes you need to change things up and shake things up a bit. And, you might already be taking lots of action. You might be doing the right things, but you might just need to wait a little bit longer, because there's some people out there that are just procrastinating and they're not taking action on their goals. So therefore they need to really shake things up and really need to start changing themselves in order to make those goals happen for themselves. But then on the other side of that, you've probably got a lot of people out there, and some people that may be watching this video, that are actually taking a lot of the right actions, but they just need to persist a bit longer, to keep on doing those things a bit longer until they start seeing results. Okay, but it goes back to that the scary truth about your goals, which is nothing will change until you change. Okay, so to help with these disciplines, there's something I talk a lot about on this channel. Sometimes I talk about it on my relationship and dating channel too. And that is my 15-minute rule, right? If you've struggled with being consistent with some discipline in the past, then just start by doing 15 minutes of it. So if you haven't been consistent with exercise, if you haven't been consistent with working on your business or whatever it is that you're working towards, whatever goals that you have, if you found it difficult to be able to, let's say, do whatever action you need to do every Monday to Friday, then for this first week, when Monday starts, just start for this week, just this week only, just do 15 minutes of whatever it is that you need to do every day from Monday to Friday. So Monday you do 15 minutes, Tuesday you do 15 minutes, Wednesday you do 15 minutes, Thursday you do 15 minutes, and on Friday you do 15 minutes, okay? And then the week after that, try and get it to 20 minutes. But the cool thing is that what I found is that when if I'm struggling with something and I'm vowing to myself, okay, I need to do something for 15 minutes. I need to do this for 15 minutes because I'm really struggling, I'm procrastinating, so I'm just going to do it for 15 minutes. But what I find is that if I just do it for 15 minutes, I often get lost in the process of taking action, and then I continue to do it. I go further than 15 minutes basically. Once I get started, I can carry on. So usually the problem is that it's taking the first steps usually. That's usually the big hurdle, like just getting yourself started. But once you have started, it's much easier to continue. But you might have days where you're feeling really off. You might be having really bad days, and some days you may only just be able to do 15 minutes. Another thing that I talk about is a sloppy copy, right? Which again is sort of like goes into consistency, but also kind of like reining it back a bit to not overwhelm yourself. So let's say you've got an essay to write, or a book, or your dissertation if you're at university, right? Just make a sloppy copy first. Maybe even just do a page of bullet points of the things that you want to talk about in your paper or your book or whatever it is that you're trying to create. Just do that first, right? And then, leave it for a bit, have a nap or whatever, and then come back to it and do more, add to it, right? But make a sloppy copy first. That's another way that you can look at it as well, especially if it's something to do that you're creating or writing, or some kind of like creative project, or maybe even like a piece of art. You could just draw a little bit first, just do a little bit. Okay, because it goes back to that quote of, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, okay? So if you practice those things, because I can't tell you what those things are, because everyone's goals are going to be different. So practice those actions that you need to take every day, and you will get further along to your goals. You will reach your goals eventually. And if you're struggling with being consistent right now and you're procrastinating a lot, then just start by just doing 15 minutes every day for the first week, and then add it to 20 minutes the following week, and then the week after that 30 minutes. Or maybe if you're really bad with consistency, then just do 15 minutes of it for a month, and then next month add it to 20 minutes. Okay, it depends on your what you believe that you can do, essentially, right? And what you think you can do. And some people are going to be able to like do way more than others, and some people may need to really take some small baby steps. It depends on you, and you got to be very acutely aware of yourself when it comes to that sort of thing. You got to know what works for you. So that's my thoughts on, practice these every day to reach your goals. These are the kind of things that have worked for me, and they're the things that I've seen that really do work, like really do work, where you can actually see results much more faster, right? Because you get a lot of people that are like trying to manifest their goals and things, and they just sit and meditate all day. I've tried that sort of thing before. I've experimented with that sort of thing before. It's good to do that to keep your vision alive, but it's not going to make you reach your goals. Only action can do that. Okay, it's the only thing that I've personally seen in my own world that actually works physically, right? Taking action. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.